Note 10. Success Approach of Rishis. This note is different from others. In what way? What I have been sharing with you is what I have learned through observation of millions and millions of worlds. But we Rishis have known that a formula for getting what you want out of life does exist. The formula can be applied anywhere. You can apply it here on Earth, or on Pluto, or on a planet called Pancha-nakshatra. The formula, which consists of some principles, works everywhere. You can use this to improve your life, to get whatever you wish to get, and most importantly, to feel that peace of mind which our Guru Maharishi would always stress us about. There was a time when he was on a grand mission to help 5,000 chosen ones around the world to find peace of mind and attain enlightenment so they would take it to the world. He started his mission from the Midwest, USA. A big spiritual movement started from that point. This formula is the foundation which one must use, even if he or she doesn't apply the other notes that I have shared. The formula is the foundation for success. Once this is done, you can choose whatever insights I have shared with you to be used with this philosophy. Nothing strict or rigid. You can use just one or three or all. They add power to this formula and make your life smoother and happier and easier. Here we go. Before you go ahead and achieve your dream, make sure the dream is what you want and not something that is thrust upon you, or something that you do to impress someone or because everyone seems to do it. Whenever you come across a challenge when pursuing that dream, forget the option to go after another new dream. Remember, on the other end of the challenge lies your cookie of growth. Some get 3 cookies and quit before the 4th cookie. The first 3 challenges may have been smaller ones. The 4th may have been a tougher one, but most quit before the first cookie. Since most quit, the race has few contenders only after a few stages. So make a decision upfront that no matter how big the challenge is, or how big the pain in overcoming the challenges, or how many disappointing days you may have to face, you will not quit. Since you know that you are on the right track, you also know that you are moving forward because you are not moving sidewards. You will not always move forward. You will always be pulled backwards in journeying toward your dream. Sometimes it may seem you are not moving at all. That is quite normal, which many men and women unfortunately do not understand that it happens always. It happens to everyone. These are natural ways in which the worlds work. Even when you don't find any improvement or results or facing dull days, hold on to your dream ever so tightly. You will see some new stars emerging. Remember, tomorrow is a new day and you will have a better way. Sometimes this too happens. After driving some miles down the road, you reflect once again and no more feel a desire for the dream, not because of the challenges you may have to encounter and overcome, for you are more than ready to put efforts, but for some other reason you feel right for you. All of a sudden you realize that you have been following a dream which was, in the first place, something that was suggested to you by your friend because he was passionate about it and thought your life might get better following that dream. If you can afford it immediately now, go and search for your dream that really inspires you. This too happens in all the worlds, not just on Earth. Holding tightly to a dream without passion or interest anymore in it is worse than having no dream at all. On the other side, the big sin is still having a big desire for a dream while giving up on it because of lack of belief in yourself. Belief that you cannot overcome obstacles, or belief that you may not go further after a certain point, or a belief that you may miserably fail eventually, etc. Your dream is like a thick 20-inch glass pane. Some possess heavy sledgehammers that weigh in tons. They break it in one single blow. But maybe for you, you may only have a little steel hammer. Now, how do you break it? Keep hitting it again and again and again. Do this many times today. Again start tomorrow. Hit it again and again and again. Then the day after that, until you break that glass. Never bother about how much effort it takes, but think about how much badly you want it. Think not about how many blows it is going to take. Think how many rewarding days you are going to have. Now, while you are on breaking that glass pane, never think about the other fellow who broke it in one single blow. Never also look at that another skinny folk who is sitting it feebly in that corner with a small wooden hammer. Keep your focus to yourself. You go at your own speed and don't see how faster or slower others are traveling. The key point is keep hitting it again and again and again. Some may be already at a better place to reach the same dream that you focus upon. That's the sledgehammer guy. Some may be far below you are. That's the small wooden hammer skinny guy. Many men and women tend to start considering to quit when they see someone doing the thing they dream about better, or when someone is better at that skill. A person starts to think just because his friend or colleague or someone is doing it better or faster that he or she is not fit for this dream or lacks what it takes just because other people do it better or faster. What this person inevitably fails to see is that he or she is for the time being at a different level than that folk or others, and would someday reach that point if they continue moving. Instead of moving, they start to feel bad about their current skill level or knowledge level or progress rate or performance level or anything, and they prematurely quit. A bad day may cause you to think about quitting, or a bad experience can, or maybe a naysayer may infect your mind and make you to quit, or even a well-meant but ignorant remarks from your beloved ones can cause you to quit. Or it can be quitting spree based upon no real reasons. You will sometimes feel like giving up for no apparent reasons. A bad day can cause bad mood, and that mindset, which is temporary, can cause you to give up. Sometimes it can be that you see no signs of progress, and so on. Beware. These are all delusions that this life always brings to test you before handing you your prize. For whatever reason, give up the habit of giving up. Stay there, right there, in the vanguard. Be on track. Keep hitting the glass pane harder and harder, again and again and again. You must break it for sure. Attach a lot of desire to your dream, but do not attach too much seriousness to it. Whatever the dream is, or whatever the size of it is, do not think that it is your entire world, so as to allow it to destroy you completely if you do not see through it. You place extremely immense desire to it as much as you are ready to readily and with serenity accept the fact that if a situation arises where you cannot get that dream. This is after you have put in all the hard work and time. Sages do have this level of spiritual maturity. Have an intense burning Himalayan-sized desire. I mean big-sized desire. Work for it tirelessly, but also have that equally big attitude that can accept the fact when the desire doesn't get fulfilled because of some factors that are outside your control. This applies equally well to a big dream of yours or just a small desire to have the chocolate cake today at your favorite hangout. The willingness to recover and accept the sudden change is the sign of serenity entering your house and heart. This is being like water. When the shape of the container changes, the water adapts well. Unlike sages, and quite understandably, people do feel heavy pain when what they desire fails to reach their hands, sometimes for the time being and sometimes permanently. When you practice to stay detached from the unfavorable outcome and stay attached to your efforts, you get a lot of pressure off your shoulder. Does that mean to say that you should not visualize your dreams since you are detached from the outcome? You are not detached from your outcome, but you are just detached from the unfavorable outcome and attached to your favorable outcome. When you picture your dream in your imagination, you are applying spiritual forces that align you with your dream. Your desire becomes intense and strong. You tell yourself where to focus today and the days to come. The purpose is to increase your desire and to tell yourself where to take your mind to during your waking hours. The desire part is like a child. It does not care when you have not reached the outcome. That is why children are always kings and queens of desire, which their curiosity and no-limit mentality complement so well. But the seriousness part or attachment part is what causes the pain when a goal slips through one's fingers. People never make a provision for how to feel when and if their dream does not click, be it for the time being or once and for all. This is the point where annihilation occurs in many people's lives. We don't mean that one expects to fail here, but how you cope with that aspect called temporary defeat or even a fiasco. The formula is this: just stay detached from the unfavorable outcome and stay attached to the favorable outcome. Detachment is being independent from emotional hurts because of the unfavorable outcome here. Say you are in the sales profession. You are going to meet a big client, say a very rich man who could buy an expensive luxury sedan that a luxury car company manufactures. You know that this man can also refer you to at least 10 others in his elite group. This means not just a sales, but a career turnaround for you, a big break to say the least. A week before, at your home, you see yourself closing the sale with a strong handshake and an assuring promise from the man that he would refer you to his friends. You see yourself receiving that big commission in sales and the award for the superstar salesman for the year. Your desire intensifies. Then you start to focus on your efforts and start practicing your pitch. Now you concentrate on your presentation. You know that more than your desire for your dream, your efforts count more. Then the day comes and you reach his office at the appointed time. You start your presentation. Not even a whole 10 minutes have passed. He stops you abruptly and explicitly tells you that he is not interested and doesn't think that car could be as good as it sounds. Now that big desire that you have developed through the visualization would take a big beating. You are shattered. You lose confidence in yourself. Your sense of self-worth is wounded heavily. You start to think if you are suited for this profession anymore. Not if you are detached from the unfavorable outcome. If you are a person who follows that attachment and detachment simultaneously. Instead of a single line, you run two parallels. You will readily accept what the rich man says and wouldn't feel even a little bit bad about yourself. You may try to persuade him, but even if that's futile, your feelings are not hurt. Your self-confidence is intact, and so is your desire. Your temper is under control. You have experienced an unfavorable outcome. If you had pulled off the sales, you would have enjoyed the time of your life. You are so attached to your desire, the favorable outcome, that this sales success could have boosted your faith in your ability exponentially. But here, you have experienced an unfavorable outcome. Since you are also simultaneously detached to this end of the outcome, you maintain your poise. You now play it the way of the sages. You play your life at a higher level. The next morning, the same man calls you and tells you over the phone, open quotes, "I know I'll never own that car, buddy, but I felt I would refer you to 3 of my friends. I think they might be interested. I don't know, but I like the way you responded to my rejection in a poised manner and the professional and passionate way you went through the presentation, even if it was only for a few minutes. I'll call you back sometimes later. You may be due for a big presentation tomorrow." Close quotes. The motivation for action proceeded from the desire for the dream, which reflected in an impeccable presentation, and the take it easy response from you sprang from your detachment to the unfavorable outcome. These points explain the Rishi's philosophy in a nutshell. Number 1. Dream your dream. Number 2. You will grow bigger, so stay there. Stay focused on your dream. Number 3. Tough times are there to test you. From now on, let tough times encourage you to even more intensive action steps. Number 4. Only a few get further, and that's why there are not many achievers and super level achievers. Join this group at its various levels. Number 5. Yours is not a sledgehammer nor a small wooden hammer. Yours is yours. Concentrate on yours. Number 6. You will move forward, but you will also be dragged backward. This is common. Sometimes you will go 10 feet forward, sometimes 30 feet, sometimes you will go backward 20 feet, sometimes 5 feet backward. Anyway, make sure you are moving. Number 7. Down the road, it can happen that it dawns on you that you are treading the wrong path, a path that doesn't suit you. Change it if you can afford to change it immediately, or else make the change gradually so as to not to spoil things you have built on the road. Number 8. Forget about worrying and expecting too much about the unfavorable outcome. Grow your desire big and be super motivated by it frequently. To make this point clearer, open quotes, I will have a big desire for my dream that is so hot and strong. I love to think about it. I am motivated when I call it in my imagination. The love for my desire is there. The longing for it is there. I am attached to the favorable outcome of my desire. But know what? I also am detached from the unfavorable outcomes, and I readily accept if the situation becomes such that I cannot have my desire, whether temporarily or permanently. That's okay. I will not be concerned about how badly things would go if I do not get my desire fulfilled, or how miserable I may appear in front of others. I do not care. My job is to be attached to my desire and focus on my effort regardless of the outcome. Close quotes. Before we part. It is over. I'll be there in a moment. Oh, I wasn't talking to you there. It was someone from our place who wants me to be there in a moment. Rishis and other sages assemble at this place regularly. It's called Agni Yatra. Though I do not feel like leaving you, I have to, for an emergency has cropped up. I need to be there. But before I leave, I just want to tell you something. With the insights you now have, you can build or rebuild your life as you want it and like it. As I said, there are no limitations for you. You are God's very crown. You add beauty to Him as He adds power to you. A new life is waiting for you. I hope these notes that I have shared with you help you to live a better, bolder, and beautiful life. The life you have always wanted. Like I said before, if it is divine will, we shall meet again.